So we're outside St James's Park, round about 2.5 hours to kick off, which means round about an hour and a half before the teams are announced for today. Whispers of Isak and possibly playing with Wilson today. We'll find out in due course. Very excited about that if they are playing together. But it's a huge game, both for Newcastle United because they need to win, simply because to get a foot in the Champions League door, I think 3 points today and we're practically there. And also for Arsenal, of course, still chasing that championship. They have blown it a little bit over the last couple of weeks, but today we'll certainly see if they're up for the fight, because Newcastle certainly will be. They do have to start a lot better, of course, than they have done in previous matches, because if we start as badly as we have, Arsenal will punish us, definitely. However, I'm not expecting that today. I'm expecting us to go fully at Arsenal, fully for the 3 points. Eddie's already said he goes out to win every game. There's no difference between that and today, of course. He'll be going out for 3 points and, of course, try and get those 3 points for the Champions League qualification. But it's going to be a very interesting game. Looking forward to the teams coming out, and we'll go and interview some fans. There you go. Enjoy the vlog, guys. Right, I'm here with Simon, and Simon is an Arsenal fan. Thank you for coming on the channel, Simon. Looking forward to the game?
Yeah, very much. It's one of the great grounds in the country, St James's Park, and one of the great atmospheres. Don't know if I'm looking forward to the result, but certainly looking forward to the game.
Now, Arsenal's still in the fight for the Premier League title. I mean, judging by your face, I think it's probably gone now, but you're still in there. You've still got to fight.
Oh yeah, I think the fat lady's not singing, but she's gargling at the moment. Yeah, we have still got to fight. Yeah, I think we've got to fight for a second place. You know, you're on our tails as well. So yeah, you go in every game really having to fight. You never know to the end, but you know, we're certainly second favourites now.
What kind of Arsenal side are you expecting to turn up today? Because obviously the confidence must have been a little bit hit and miss over the last few games, but you bounced back against Chelsea quite well.
We've looked very tired, I think. I think we've been bullied at a couple of the games recently. To be fair, the way Chelsea played, I'd have fancied myself against them. Yeah. I think with the lack of squad showing, we're looking a bit tired now. And Newcastle are playing with such vim. I'm expecting a really difficult game, but you know, in football, if the best team always won, it'd be the most boring sport in the world, wouldn't it?
Exactly. So what sort of score you're hoping for today?
Oh, I'm hoping we manage to get a couple of goals and then defend like Trojans and win 2-1.
Brilliant. Thanks, Simon. Cheers.
Thanks for your time.
Right, here with Eddie from Tyneside Life. Please go and check out Eddie's channel. Fantastic, good friend of mine, and brilliant channel to watch. So make sure you go and subscribe to Tyneside Life. I'll put that down in the description. Eddie, big game today, obviously. Arsenal here still chasing the title. Personally, I think it's gone for them, but they've still got something to fight for. But so have we.
Oh, definitely. I've just been chatting to the Arsenal fans down by the Victoria Comet. They have still got a hangover from last May, when it was a 2-0, but it was an utter thumping of the Arsenal side by a display from us, which was just absolutely superb. And I think if we start in the same manner as what we have been in some of the recent games, I think there's going to be only one winner today. But you're right. They've blew it, and for whatever reason, they've had a couple of injuries. I think they've capitulated. But speaking to the Arsenal fans, they really have some trepidation about today's game. In fact, most of them think we're going to win. And what
very strange, that, isn't it?
What a turnaround, in 12 months from where we've been to coming up against Arsenal, and Arsenal are worried about what we're going to bring in today.
I've heard snifflings that maybe Isak's playing with Wilson today, but obviously we'll get that confirmed later on. Is that something that you would approve of? Be excited about?
It's something I've been thinking about as well, and my opinion is for today's match I wouldn't approve that. I would, for example, against Leicester, but today I think he might just go for Isak up front. I think he likes the fact that even though Wilson's scoring, he comes on really hungry.
He did boss the centre-backs last season, Wilson, didn't he here?
Yeah, yes, it's a tough one, there's no right or wrong. Personally, I hope he doesn't start with the two, because he's bringing out, because if it doesn't work in the first 20 minutes, half an hour.
It kind of softens our subs bench as well, doesn't it, where we haven't got those impact players.
Yes, that's right, especially against, the quality of the opposition today. Arsenal, they're a top class side. For me personally, I hope he starts with Isak. Nothing again, Wilson's been superb. I think he might just bring him on, but I could be wrong.
Give us your score prediction then.
I'm going to go for a 3-1 Newcastle today, as long as we turn up in the way that we have been.
Let's hope so. Cheers, Eddie. Thank you very much. So I've got Paul with us. Paul, are you nice and early, ready for the game? What sort of game are you expecting today?
I'm expecting us just to go all out, just attack, try and shock them.
We've got to start better though, haven't we? Because start like we did against, well, even last week. The first half was rotten. We've been dodgy first half for a couple of games, but it's very important that we don't start like that today because Arsenal will hurt us.
Yeah, I don't understand why we're starting like that because we are so good. We've proved that in the second half. But with what we've got in the second half, we need in the front, in the first half as well. So all we can do is try our best in it.
Now, there's big questions going around on social media this morning about Isak possibly starting with Wilson. Eddie kind of doesn't really go for that kind of thing. He's not really the guy to put the two of them together, although Isak has played superbly well on the left. Is it a kind of game that you would like to see them start together?
I don't know, because what happens if one of them gets injured? We're stuffed up, basically. But then again, why change a team that's playing well? May as well go for it.
It softens the bench though, doesn't it? We need those impact players on the bench just in case we do have poor first half again and we need to change it second half. So, Maxi could be back as well, which might be a bonus for the bench.
Yeah, Maxi's a good player, but I think he's been a bit off. The goals haven't come this year. He's been injured a lot. So I don't know if the injuries are real or is he on his way out.
You think it might be the second one, yeah? The latter. Interesting, but if he is on the bench today, could he make an impact if he came on?
Yeah, definitely. I watched him in training. He looks quite up for it.
And what's going to be the score today then? Come on then.
My heart says 2-1, but my head says a draw.
Excellent. Cheers, Paul. Thank you.
About that.
Right, I'm here with Rich, who is a friend of the channel, of course, from the Over and Over and Over Again Arsenal podcast. So get yourself subscribed to that. Some great stuff on there as well. And also the Arsenal women's team as well, which he follows profusely, doing quite well.
Yeah, they're doing a bit better than the men, really.
Yeah.
They sound a bit more heart and guts at the minute, but anyway, let's see what happens today.
What are you expecting today? Because we've spoken to a few Arsenal fans today who just aren't confident at all.
No, I mean, I'm not confident we'll win, and if we don't win, it basically gives the title to City. Even a draw is probably not enough for us. I think that'll be 3 points. They'll have a game in hand with 3 games left for us. I don't think we can do it, so we have to win. You guys have to win for the top 4, so it's all to play for, really, isn't it? But no, I'm not overly confident. I think our defence, we've got injury issues. Obviously, Isaac and Wilson are on fire at the minute, scoring goals for fun. You've been banging in goals right, left and centre, so it's a worry, but it's a one-off game. We can beat you, obviously, if we turn out and play as we have done, but I was just saying there, we've only won 1 game in the north of England all season. That was at Leeds in October. All our away wins.
That's unbelievable stat, really, considering where you are in the league.
It is mad. You think we've won 11 away games, and 10 of them have been Aston Villa or further south. Do you know what I mean? We haven't won in the north. We lost at Everton. We lost at Liverpool. We drew at Liverpool. Sorry, we lost at City. We just don't have a good record when we travel north for some reason. I don't know what it is. And
well, we've started games pretty badly. I don't know whether you've noticed that the last few games.
Apart from Tottenham.
Apart from Tottenham, yes, which I thought you might remember.
Yeah, no, we'll let you know for that one. Yeah.
I think if we start badly, we'll be a bit worried because obviously Arsenal can hurt us. So it's important that we start well. But where are you on what Arsenal will turn up today? Do you think they'll be fired up for this one?
Well, if they're not, then there's a problem, isn't there? I mean, we have to win the game. I mean, what we tended to have done is we tend to start games well and then fade. We have done in recent away games. Liverpool, we were 2 up in 20 minutes. West Ham, we were 2 up in 20 minutes. And then we faded away. And if that's going to be the case, I mean, if Newcastle starts slowly, we may well get a lead. But will we hold on to it? Because we haven't done. And that's the worry for me. I think we have to start well. I think if we go behind with a crowd and stuff here, I think we'll be in trouble. Could be like last season's game. But if we do start well, we get a goal. Who knows? Anything can happen, but I'm not at this moment in time. I haven't seen the team yet. I don't know if Gabriel's playing. If he is, I'll be a little bit more confident because if we've got Holding and Kiwior as our centre backs against you guys today, that would worry me. Interesting.
Right, score prediction, Rich.
Without seeing the team, I don't want to predict against us because obviously I want us to win, but I think a draw, maybe 2-2.
Brilliant. Thank you, mate.
Cheers.
Right, so I'm here with Adam P. and Adam. Good. The height difference is incredible at times, but never mind. Looking forward to this?
Yes, I'm certainly looking forward to this game before you insult my height again. But honestly, Paul, I'm a bit nervous, to be honest. I still think Brighton in 2 weeks' time is going to be a harder game than this. So it's very important today we get at least 1 point. We get 1 point today. I think we need 6 statistically to get top 4. And we've got 3 winnable games and Brighton at home. So, yeah, I think we'll get 1 point today. We're looking very, very good. But it's an important match. I think Arsenal I know they have got a good win against Chelsea during the week. I mean, I don't rate Chelsea at all, so they came off the back of a big loss against City and a few draws in between the games. So it's up to us today to really give it a good go. Of course, last season I think it was the game that everyone's talking about. 2-0, Arsenal had to win in order to get Champions League football. We pumped them off the pitch. It was incredible from us. So I'm expecting us to give it a good go today. I think we've got. I don't think we've got any injuries, have we? I think Sir Max Bernard belongs.
Well, there's rumours coming around that Botman might be out now, but also this thing about playing Isak and Wilson together. Is this the game to do it, or do you think it impacts our bench a little bit because we haven't got the quality coming off the bench to maybe change the game a bit?
Well, I'm always someone that's quite adamant in getting Isak and Wilson at the start 11. I think they're both too good not to start. But to actually start it for this game is going to be quite tricky. It's probably the match you don't want to start against. And again, Leeds away. Next week's a hard game as well. So it's that point of the season now where we've got some tricky games. We can't afford to drop points because of some tactical changes that may not go too well. But on paper, obviously they should do well together. But for me, I probably would keep it the same just until the end of the season, and then we'll see what happens. But we've got to get those points from Paul. I can't stress the importance.
So what are you going for today?
I'm going to say 3-1 Newcastle. I'm a bit nervous. I haven't really came with any conclusion on why I think it's going to be 3-1, but I'm going to back us. I always back us to the moon. And I think Arsenal nerves on them a bit more than Newcastle, because if they don't get 3 points today, they're completely out of the title. I think City will win it anyway now, but Arsenal still got to do their job, and if they don't do it today, they're completely out of it. So Newcastle, let's get straight at them.
Hopefully you're right, mate. I'll catch you after the game. Cheers, bud. Right, I've got Sinclair with us now, and John back in Newcastle again. Big game this today, isn't it?
Oh, it's a humdinger, mate. It's a humdinger of a game, mate. I mean, look, 2 teams in the top 4, and Arsenal's blown it. Newcastle's got a great chance to get those 2 more wins, and I'm not scared of this team because we can do it again. If we play like we did last season, we'll do it again, and we've got to do it.
We've got to come out better, haven't we? First half, because we can't afford to come out like we did against Southampton. We can't afford to come out like we did against quite a few teams in the recent past. But we need to start well, because I think if we get ahead, their confidence will probably drop again.
Totally agree, mate. Absolutely, because our score first to be difficult to come back. Though you've got to remember, Arsenal went 2-0 up twice against Liverpool and West Ham, and he didn't win the game. Let's hope that we got to take the lead early. If we take the lead early, put them under pressure, and then we can go and win this game. I mean, they're not going to like up here with our fans behind them at all.
What do you think of this Isak Wilson business playing together? Now, obviously, the team's due out in about 20 minutes or so. What are you expecting? Would you like to see them play, or do you think that might impact the bench and the quality coming off to change the game later on?
To me personally, I think it's working. Isak and Wilson up front, it's working. I think it looks better when those 2 play together, man. I just think we're just putting the defence under pressure. But Rob Horton's playing today, and in Kiwaya, whatever his name is. And for me personally, I say go for it, because I don't think the Arsenal defence is that good at all. Then badly misses Saliba. Gabriel might not be playing, so I mean that means they're going to have an understrength defence, and that's good for us. We can just put them under pressure. And you know what? I'm feeling confidence today, because I fancy it. Clearly fancy it.
What's the score going to be?
I'm going to say 2-1 to Newcastle, and like you said, we've got to start well. We have got to get an early goal. Get an early goal, put on the pressure. They're not going to like it, but we just go at them. We're not scared of these, and let's go. Let's do it.
Brilliant. Catch you in the game, buddy.
Take care.
Right, I'm with Darren now. Darren, excited?
Very excited. I think I'm fancying a 2-1 win, but it'll be a hard game. But the crowd need to get from the off. The crowd play their part. I've got every chance of winning the game.
We can't start badly, can we? Because we know Arsenal have got players on that pitch that will hurt us. So it's important for a good start this time around. Tottenham preferably would be a fantastic start, but I don't think it's going to be like that. But if we go ahead, do you think that'll shatter their confidence a little bit?
Yes, from the first whistle, give 100%. No phone and sleep, because you can't. They've got too many good players. Arsenal, Odegaard, Jesus, they're fast, they're nippy. So you can't ever afford to fall asleep forward. Just don't concede the first 10 minutes. But I've got every chance of winning the day, and I fancy 2-1. Just play it, get the fans involved. Every corner, throw in, get the fans involved. Do you know what I mean?
Now we've heard that obviously Botman might be out. We don't know that for certain, because the teams are coming out in around 15 minutes, I think. But also, where do you stand on the Isak Wilson situation? Because I've had fans say that they like them to start together. Some fans are saying no, keep one on the bench for the impact of the second half. Where do you stand on it? Would you like to see them play together?
Today I would, because Liverpool's won 2 games on the trot. And to me, this is like not a must-win game, but they get big 3 points to get it distant from Liverpool again. And they looked good the other day, didn't it? When they played Southampton in the second half, didn't it? Like Isak was.
They look very good, yeah.
Yeah, so like I would have been saying the day from the first whistle. Like.
And what's your score prediction going to be then?
I just fancy 2-1 the day.
Right. Brilliant. Cheers, Darren. Thank you. Right, I'm here with Mr. Proudlock again, and Peter. Nice sunny Sunday for once in Newcastle.
Absolutely
perfect
beautiful.
Conditions for an afternoon kick-off.
Absolutely, it is.
Is it perfect for us to thump Arsenal today?
Why not? Why not? We're going to be well up for this game. If we want that top 4, we've got to make sure we go for it today. The atmosphere will be buzzing, and I can't see why we can't win today. We win today, that ends their hopes for the title, and if we do win, we're well on the way to the top 4 for next season.
Team news just around the corner. Obviously, a lot of rumours are going around amongst the fans walking around here that Botman might be out, and then we've heard that Isak and Wilson, could they play together? Might they play together? Would Eddie go with that? Few fans are saying do it. Few fans saying don't. If they do, does it take away what we've got on the bench, or for the impact in the second half?
Well, I'm not hearing anything to say Botman's injured yet. In terms of Wilson and Longstaff playing together, if Longstaff's back, then no, I wouldn't, because you will need one of them to come off the bench if there's too much tiredness. If Longstaff wasn't playing, but it looks like he could well be back today, then I would have considered going for the 2 up front together. But I'm looking forward to the game. Just can't wait.
Arsenal have got a lot to play for, haven't they?
Yeah.
A lot to play for today. So their championship, for me, I think it's gone. I think they've blown it. That's not been disrespecting Arsenal. I just think City won't drop the points. But they've still got, obviously, a lot to play for, a lot of pride to play for, and they'll still be going for it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we do win, then it's definitely gone. I mean, you can't. I mean, turn it up to City and show no fight. That's what's let them down, unfortunately. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they're going to be without their 2 main centre-backs, because if they are, we can look to open them up, because they are vulnerable at the back still. They really, really are. We can use that as an advantage. I think it all comes down to the first goal today. If we get that first goal, we can kick on from there.
So you're sounding confident, Pete. So is your score prediction going to reflect that?
It's going to say 2-1 Newcastle.
Brilliant. Thanks, Pete. Catch you at the end of the game. Right, I'm here with Josh, who is taller than me. Thank God. Somebody is taller than me. Make that... Yeah. So, Josh, big game today.
Massive game today.
Arsenal, obviously, I think the title's gone. However, I still think they'll come and give us a game. What are you expecting from Newcastle?
I'm expecting a lot of intensity. I'm expecting us to get out the blocks really early on. I think it's going to be a really, really tight game. I think whoever's up for it most today is going to win. I think midfield is where we're going to win the game today. I think our intensity in the midfield, if we can get Longstaff, if we can get whoever's playing, I think it'll be a great game.
Teams are due out in a minute, and a lot of people have been arguing about whether Wilson should start with Isak and things like that. Where do you stand on that?
I don't think it really matters. I think they've both been playing so well this season. I would think I'd prefer Wilson just to get that physicality, and then bring maybe Isak on, or maybe partner him up halfway through, depending on how the game goes on.
Brilliant. And what's your prediction then?
I'm thinking either a 1-0 win or a 2-1.
Excellent. Thanks, Josh. Thank you.
Mascots, starting with our home mascots. 10-year-old Alfie, 9-year-old Alia, 7-year-old Daisy, 10-year-old Jamie, 11-year-old James, 10-year-old Max.
Right, I've got Richard here, the Arsenal fan, and I've brought him first for a reason, because obviously we have to explain how Arsenal did today. They came with a game plan, played it out well, some would say. However, you needed to do a job on us, and many teams have passed around us. Newcastle passed around a lot of teams this season, but this was a strong performance from Arsenal.
I thought so, yeah. I thought after last year, I think we had to stand up to Newcastle this time. And after the first 10 minutes or so, where we were looking a little bit shaky, once we settled in, I thought it was almost a perfect away performance in a big game. Recently, we've gone away from home in Liverpool, Man City, and we've not stood up to the test. Whereas today, that's what we did. And yeah, we got a little bit lucky. Newcastle hit the woodwork a couple of times. Obviously, the penalty was overruled, and we said before, didn't we, the first goal could be important, and I thought it was. Once we scored our first shot of goal, we hadn't even been in your penalty area at that point, and we scored a goal out of nothing really, and then I thought after that we controlled the game well. We did what we had to do. You're right. You came to the Emirates and wasted time to get your point. We came to St James's today and wasted time to get the 3 points. And sometimes you got to do that to win these big games. And Arsenal did well today. They stood up to what they had to stand up to. I was impressed with how they played. Yeah.
I mean, Newcastle started quite well. I thought. Hit the post with Murphy. Got the penalty, should have had a penalty, or should they? I don't know.
No.
Some people say it hit the leg and then up on the hand, but listen, it be what may. But I thought the referee was dreadful today. I mean, Kavanagh is one of the worst in the division, there's no doubt. But having said that, we can't blame the referee. I mean, Arsenal, Odegaard, we know what he can do, and a cracking first goal.
Oh, it was, yeah. I'd say it was out of nothing, really. We hadn't even had an attack up to that point, really. And then, it was a nice move. It fell to him, and you give him that bit of space with his left foot on the edge of the box, you're going to pay, because he's done it to so many teams this season. It's great finish into the bottom corner, and that gave us a platform then. And that was so important so early in the game as well, I thought, because at that time we were struggling a little bit to get a grip. The crowd were up for it and the players were up for it. But yeah, no, it was a great goal, and we know what Odegaard can do. And sometimes in the big games he's not always turned up, but today he did, and he gave a captain's performance today, yeah.
We were on about before the game, obviously Isak and Wilson starting together. It didn't quite work today. Second half we didn't have that sort of inspiration coming off the bench that could have made a difference. But you went and got the second goal. That killed the game for me, the own goal. Good work from Martinelli, and then eventually cutting it back. I thought the defending was a bit woeful at times, but it's a good result for you guys now. It's sort of, it's a message to Man City that you're not going away, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, all we can do is win our games, and hope for the best. I mean, yeah, Man City have won 10 in a row or something like that, and we don't expect them to drop points particularly, but all we can do is win. And I thought today that they'd have been expecting us to come here and drop points today. Man City would have done, a draw or a defeat. So the fact that we've come here and played like we have and won the game, I think that's it is a message to them, to say, we're not giving up yet. I still don't think it's going to be enough personally. I think we needed a result at the Etihad a couple of weeks ago, and it makes me wonder why he didn't play Jorginho in that game after his performance today.
Yeah, he did well. Well, listen, mate, well done. I say that through gritted teeth, but well done, buddy.
Good to see you anyway.
Right, Darren, 2-0 defeat, not the match we wanted. Bit deflated. We did start quite well, I thought. We hit the post, the penalty incident, things like that. But we just didn't seem at it today. The Isak Wilson up front didn't really work.
No, it didn't look good today, but I'm not too... Yes, we got beat. I'm more disappointed in the performance today. We didn't play well. Like Isak and Wilson didn't link up that well, but if you don't take your chances, you're not going to win. And Arsenal wasted much more time as possible.
We did have chances, didn't we? But Arsenal clearly came with a game plan.
Yeah.
They came to frustrate us, and to be fair to Arsenal, that's exactly what they did. They're not going to be asked that the crowd's on the back. They're not going to be asked that we're harping on for the goalkeeper to take a quick free kick or a goal kick or whatever. They came with a game plan.
Yeah, and it worked for them. So it just shows you if Newcastle want to go to the next level, we need to somehow beat that to get round that. Odegaard the day Bruno loses the ball, and Odegaard had space to shoot. And then his last game, he was in space against Chelsea. He's doing it outside the box. We didn't close him down fast enough.
Their midfield seemed to overrun our midfield at times. The 50-50 balls they were winning, and it was a bit frustrating for us. As I say, we did have some chances though, and we've got to take the optimism from that into next week, because Leeds is now a massive game. Forget Man United tonight, whatever they do, they do. But we've got to concentrate on doing a job against Leeds.
Yes, Leeds next week, but hopefully Sean Longtop will be back, because he's been a big miss. And it just shows you, he's not in the team. He does a lot of the dog work in midfield, close people down, and he's not there. It just shows what sort of miss he is. Willock, didn't have no one stood out today for a good game, did they? No. But it's not the end of the world. We didn't get beat. Move on the next game.
It's still in our own hands.
Yeah, exactly. 2 more wins and more or less there, aren't we? So forget about it and move on.
Yep. Cheers, Darren. Well, I'm here with Mr. Spoons. Obviously, Disappointment. How do you sum that up?
Shite.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
I mean, we did start the game.
Started well. I didn't think we played bad. I think we matched them, but we were shite as well. Like, the ref was
worst referee in the Premier League, for me.
God awful. Like, he gave us one decision, then overturned it, and that's the fucking last thing he gave us, to be honest. So, no, useless. But you know, we didn't show up ourselves. Bruno was off his game, which was disappointing. They all tried, they did the best, but today it wasn't good enough, and that's just the way it goes. Sometimes we're still getting Champions League anyway, so fuck them.
Arsenal did have a game planned, didn't they? They came at us. They came to frustrate us.
Roll around on the floor like a set of penises. Yeah, it was embarrassing. Embarrassed for them if they think they win the league by doing that. You know, they're fucking embarrassment.
It is disappointing to see a team challenging for the league have to win a game by rolling around and trying to feign injury all the time. Some of the players that were rolling around was just a joke.
Yeah, they were just taking the piss, and the ref never pulled them up. I think he only told them to hurry up once. No yellow cards, nothing.
No authority, did he?
If that was us would have had players off. That's my problem with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ref was shite. But we weren't on our game. But I thought we did enough, to score a couple of goals. We had some gilt-edged chances, didn't take them. End of story.
Put it behind us now. Go again Friday.
Exactly. Bollocks to it.
Cheers, Ian.
Nice one. Cheers.
Right, young Tommy. No 8-0 tonight.
No.
How are you feeling?
Bit disappointed. Ref was awful, but what can you do?
Worst ref in the Premier League for you?
Maybe that one that gave Pope a red card. I don't know. One of them two.
Well, it was a red card though, Tommy.
Yeah, but like... Yeah,
do you think anybody stood out for us today, player-wise? We just didn't seem to get going properly, did we?
No, I don't think anyone was really that good.
So what do you think's going to happen now? On to Leeds. How do you fancy us against Leeds down at Elland Road?
9-0.
9-0 this time. So you went 8-0 last week. You're going 9-0 against Leeds despite not playing too well today.
Yeah, well, I mean, we beat Tottenham 6-1 after losing to Aston Villa 3-0.
I can't argue with that, Tommy. Thank you very much. Mr. Proudlock. And not as enthusiastic as before kick-off.
Oh, yeah, very frustrated I am the day. Thought it was a great opportunity, but we didn't take our chances. But the referee was abysmal the day. How is he a Premier League referee? I don't know. Chris Cavan crap more like. He was just terrible. I mean, the way they were rolling around the pitch was like... And the time wasted, particularly from Ramsdale, was a farce as well.
Well, they came with a game plan, didn't they? I mean, we did start the game all right. We were knocking it around quite nicely. Murphy hit the post. Then the penalty incident, it did hit his leg before it hit his hand, apparently. So they're saying no penalty. But then it just went a bit flat. Arsenal grew in the game. Odegaard scores a cracking goal. And then after that, we huffed and puffed, but didn't really get going.
That was it. We didn't take our chances the day. I mean, we had the Ramsdale put off a couple of we hit the post as well, but I think you know what Eddie will do. He'll analyse that and thinking, right, and looking at for the game against Leeds, what we didn't do today that we can look to do better in the next game, because I think we'll beat Leeds. Big Sam's rugby football. I think. Hopefully this is just a one-off and we'll take that into Leeds and get the 3 points down there.
Well, we can bounce back, there's no doubt about it. But listen, the Isak Wilson playing them together, we were all quite excited at the start, but it just didn't quite happen.
It certainly didn't, did it? I was just like, I think we need Longstaff back. We need the balance back in the midfield, which is he's been driving forward as well. So... yeah, just shame it wasn't to be today, unfortunately. As you mentioned, they had a game plan. And
stuck to it,
and that's what they got. They got the win.
All right, cheers, Pete. Thank you. Right, I've got Kev and his family here. Kev, not a great performance, but Arsenal came to frustrate us, and that's exactly what they did.
Aye. Well, what I thought Newcastle had the chances at the start of the game. We hit the post. We had the penalty appeal. We hit the post the second half. It was one of them, you know what I mean? We could have came away with a better performance, but in the end, I think the better team won.
Were you excited before the match to see Wilson and Isak in the same starting 11?
I was absolutely overjoyed to see the two lads playing up front today, because obviously he's never done it before. He's always left one of them out, but I don't know. It didn't work today, did it?
Didn't get started, really, did it? I mean, the refereeing performance wasn't great.
The referee was awful. The referee was really bad, but in the day, you know, we've had... It's just one of them. You can't dwell on it.
Yep.
You can't.
What did you think?
I think the referee was awful and an idiot.
No swearing, Charlotte.
Yeah, I wasn't going to. I was though. And then I think if we got more stuck in, we could have got some more tackles in.
So not too happy. We'll go to Leeds next week.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's still in our hands for Champions League. So how confident are you?
Do you know what it is? With being a Newcastle fan, I'm always nervous because of obviously the what's happened in the past. But I see Liverpool like challenging. I'm thinking, are they going to catch us? But in years gone by, Newcastle were like a nervous team. But we've got a good team now, so we should be optimistic. But the points are on the board. It's in our hands now, isn't it?
I suppose Eddie will go and analyse today. He'll get over it very quickly, start training next week for the game, and then see what happens at Leeds. Are you expecting them to make changes?
I think he might. I don't think he'll play the two strikers. Definitely not away from home. Maybe I don't know. He might just go with one of them. Isak at Wilson. I'm not sure which one he'll do, but he'll definitely put the five in midfield, one up front, which has worked well all season.
Yep. So what do you think we'll do at Leeds next week then?
I think we're going to batter them.
We're going to batter them. What's going to be the score?
5-3.
5-3. I hope you're right.
I'll give you 100 quid if it is.
Right, thanks, Kev.
No,
cheers.
Nice to meet you. Cheers.
Right, Paul. Dwindled enthusiasm now after that. We were very confident before the game. Didn't go our way at all, that.
Didn't turn up. Should have been better. But then
Did start the game well.
Yeah, but then again, when you're playing against them cheating and the referee going...
Well, Arsenal did come with a game plan, didn't they? And to be fair, you know, many people can say that we went to the Emirates and we played with a game plan to frustrate them. They've done exactly the same to us today, because a lot of teams have come to St James's and let us have the ball and pass it around and stuff. They're here to frustrate us and get the points and go home, and they did it.
They did, but to me, they've done it the wrong way. They showed themselves up.
Yeah.
Yes, you may as well give them all beds and all lie down.
They did roll around a bit, but I mean, look.
They're good team.
Yeah, they are a good team, but I'm a little bit disappointed in them, to be honest. If you know, a team challenging for the title, having to win a game by rolling around, but the referee, for me, he had no authority on any of those players. He had no authority in telling them to, you know, quicken the game up or stop rolling around, diving around. He's one of the worst in the Premier League for me.
Yeah, that's probably the worst referee I've seen in a long, long time, and I've seen some real bad ones.
So we move on to Leeds. You know, I mean, Leeds isn't going to be an easy game. It's Elland Road. They're struggling this season. You know, again, they lost yesterday to Man City, but that's City. But what do you think? Do you think the Wilson Isak thing didn't work?
Nah, it's not ready yet for them too. We need some better players behind them.
So what do you think? What do you think he does next week?
He reverts back to the original team.
Yeah, that's what I think. Right, cheers, Paul. Thank you, mate. Right, I'm here with John, and John, not quite the game we wanted today. All the enthusiasm before the game wiped out. Look, Arsenal came here with a game plan. They came here to frustrate us. Yeah. They came here to annoy us, and they did it. To be fair, you know, we've done that to some teams this season. You know, the referee very weak, but you know, we started well, but we huffed and puffed. The penalty incident after that, we just seemed to go a bit flat.
Exactly. I mean, look, end of the day, I mean, well, you said he started well. We did start well, hit the post, and then you had a penalty appeal denied sort of thing. We just said that it might hit his leg, but I saw it at his arm. But the end of the day, like sort of thing, he's just weak. I mean, he should have stood to the decision, and he didn't. And other than that, he just faded a little bit. Like, you know, Odegaard scored a cracking goal. We know that. I felt it should have been closed down a bit. It could have been a lot worse. Could have been 2-3 down to half time. I mean, the one at half time when Pogba had to make a great save. Other than that sort of thing, we had chances as well, mate. I mean, Isak had a chance. Ramsdale saved. But I tell you something about Ramsdale, we just couldn't beat him today.
No, he was good, Ramsdale. But the thing is, it was all down to taking chances again, and we didn't take ours. Arsenal did when they wanted. Yes, Martinelli did well for the second goal, but you know, he just played it across at pace. Yeah. Fabian had no chance. It just bounced off him into the back of the net. It's just one of them things. But you know, we have to move on quickly now, because you know, it's still in our hands for Champions League. It's still there. We're not really, you know, hurt by that today. If Man United win, fair enough, but you know, we don't know how they'll get on a bit later, but it's still in our hands.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not quite worried at this moment in time, but you know, we're still there. We're third, right? for a reason, because we're playing good football and we're winning games. But I still think we'll make it to top 4. I really do. I think Liverpool will be top 4 as well, but I think Man United is going to get itself out anyway, I think. But
You don't think Man United are going to qualify?
I just can't see it, because Liverpool, the way Liverpool are playing, we're going to get 2 more wins. And I just don't think Man United are that good. They're not. I mean, they lost their defender, Martinez, the best defender for me. But at the end of the day, one thing I'm going to say, Paul, we just got to on our games. We've got winnable games there. We've got Leeds away. We've got Leicester, Brighton at home. Brighton's going to be tough, by the way. And then we've got Chelsea, the worst Chelsea team I've seen in 30 years.
You do realise that you're going to severely upset your Manchester United harem on Twitter by saying that you don't think they're going to get Champions League. Notice, everybody, please note that comment from John Sinclair that Manchester United will not make the Champions League.
I don't think they will, because I still think we'll make it. I think Liverpool's going to win their games and get there. I don't think Man United are that good, because they're losing. I mean, look, they lost against Brighton, and they still got 1 or 2 difficult games to go up. But we're a better team than them. We are a better team than Man United, yeah, on paper. Yes, we are. But one thing I'm going to say, right, we can bounce back for next week. Beat Leeds. I don't think Leeds are that good. Leicester, they're fighting for their lives. We've already beaten them twice in the cup and in the league as well. We could do this.
The Isak, we were talking about Isak Wilson before the game. Didn't quite work today.
Not today. I mean, he did try. He gave us all. But at the end of the day, I think he tried too hard for me. However, I thought he did okay. But I think he should play the one striker up front.
Yeah, we missed that impact off the bench, don't we, later on?
Definitely. I mean, ASM came on, did okay. Anthony Gordon did his little bit. One thing I'm going to say, I mean, I'd like to see ASM starting next week if he comes back. And we badly missed Sean Longstaff today. Badly missed him today, man. First picking up.
Everybody said that we miss Longstaff. It's just one of those things that we do miss.
Yeah.
What everybody thinks of Longstaff. When he doesn't play, he leaves a big gap.
Absolutely, because he's stepping it up in the last 3 or 4 games. I know what he's thought about now. I can see what he can do, what he's thought about, and he's playing better and better for me. Okay, I've slated him a couple of times, but he's doing this bit, and he's badly missed today, man. And we need him back next Saturday if we can. Play Joe Linton wide on the left, ASM sub, and let's go for that.
Well, we go again. Cheers, John.
Here we go again.
Thank you, mate.
Peace.
Right, I'm with Adam. Adam, I don't know really how to explain that game, but it wasn't great. We started off all right. We hit the post, the penalty incident, and then after that we went a bit flat.
I'm disappointed. I think that's probably the best way I've looked at the game today. Now, I know people are going to continue to come out and blame the referee or blame Arsenal, which I do think are valid points. I definitely do think you can criticise the pair of them, but I still fully believe in responsibility, and I thought today, passing-wise, we were so sloppy with the ball. I couldn't believe the amount of times we were losing the ball. I thought Arsenal looked very good in the counter-attacks, but I thought we just gave them loads today. Players like Bruno, I didn't think stepped up to the mark. It's one of them ones where, I mean, yes, I thought obviously Newcastle scored a goal. It's a completely different game, but I didn't think we deserved more than 1 point today. I definitely didn't think we were a better team out of the 2. I thought we deserved a point max today, and as for Arsenal, I mean,
Arsenal came to frustrate, didn't they? It was clear what their tactics were. They were going to delay time and, feign injuries and roll around a little bit. But listen, we went to the Emirates and did that to them and knocked them off their game. They've come here, done the same to us, and it's worked for them. Whether you like it or not, I don't think a team challenging for the Premier League should play that kind of game. And if that's the way they've got to win the league, I'm not sure about that. But listen, they came here to do a job and they did it.
They did their job. I mean, they're not going to win the league anyway. I think it still requires City losing a match. But, I mean, as for them, it was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that before. I know Mikel Arteta was quite critical when it comes to Newcastle and what we did at their ground, but that was ridiculous. I mean, I do have to blame the referee for it, though, because, I mean, he was an absolute doormat, that referee. The Arsenal players took the piss out of him.
No authority at all. He's one of the worst in the Premier League for me.
Agreed. It was unbelievable the amount of time he's doing. I thought the worst one for me was when Gabriel Jesus went down off the pitch. He then rolled back onto the pitch. The referee did nothing. Every single time they went down, they knew they could get someone off the referee because he did jack all. He did nothing at all to stop the game at all. It was unbelievable the amount of times they did it. And I can't blame Arsenal so much for it because the referee just allowed them to do it. So why?
No authority. They'll just continue to do it. But the Wilson Isak thing didn't quite pay off today, I didn't think. And I think Eddie might just revert back at Leeds next week. He might go back to normal if Joe Linton's back.
I think Leeds next week's going to be that one where, I mean, it hasn't changed too much. The only thing that's changed now is what I would say is the get out of jail card. Newcastle cannot drop points out.
Still in our hands.
It is still in our hands. Leeds, on paper, it's a game we should be looking to win, but it's a bad time to play them. Sam Allardyce's first home game around. It's going to be a huge one for them. They'll be looking at that game thinking, you know what, Newcastle's just lost. Get the Leeds fans behind us, let's go for it straight away. So Newcastle are going to be for a very, very tough time next week. But if we beat them, then I think we've got a big chance. Brighton, I did say at the start of the day.
And we will, Adam, won't we?
We're going to get
We
it.
will beat Leeds next week.
Hopefully so.
Oh, no. So, don't get to come on me.
Well, it's too late.
My parents just went, oh, there's Adam May. Come on then, Lewis and Kobe. Can we come in with a selfie? Yes,
Well, I get this video done first. I come over, but yeah, we've got to beat Leeds next week. Then we've got Brighton afterwards. I do think Brighton will be a harder game on Arsenal, so they're going to come to the James's Park playing. But anyhow, kick them up the arse after that.
Right, cheers, buddy. Thanks very much.
Cheers,